This video is going to be a focus on the first two defensive players that the Detroit Lions drafted in the 2023 NFL Draft, Jack Campbell and Brian Branch. I will talk about Broderick Martin and one play that he makes on a 3rd and 2 inside the red zone on the Giants' third possession Friday night. Look, the Lions front office and coaches are hoping that Campbell and Brian Branch have a big impact. And in the limited snaps that they got against the Giants Friday, I think they both showed the potential that they have. And the reason why Brad Holmes took them at picks 18 and 45. I got Jack Campbell at 25 snaps over the first 3 possessions, I think. Branch played 16 snaps, generally at like nickel safety, but don't quote me on that because I'm not using every single play for this video. I'm going to try to focus on 10. Clearly, Branch had the biggest splash play with a huge hit on Cole Beasley early in the game. Campbell was consistently at the point of attack on run plays, and I thought showed aggressiveness throughout and intelligence. And then Branch, I'm going to show you one play that I think illustrates his extremely high level of awareness. Broderick Martin's going to be the focus of the last play of the video. So let's get started with the film. If you're a Lions fan and you're new to my channel, let me know what you think of the video, what you think of the style of the video. I'm trying to keep things at 10 plays generally, and it's going to be hard to do the deeper in the season we get. All right, this first play is the Giants' second possession, 1st and 10 from the negative 21-yard line. That's Brian Branch. It's going to be a huge hit on Cole Beasley at the top of the screen. Let this play a couple of times. Cole Beasley gave some of the Lions DBs fits. It's a nice look for Brian Branch, if you ask me, if he is truly going to play a lot of the slot. But look, C.J. Gardner-Johnson can play in there as well. Elite secondary that I think the Lions have put together in terms of their safety play. Coming across the formation, slot hide, whatever. Cole Beasley's trying to get onto the flats. Branch is trying to chase him. Have to mention an excellent job by John Kaminsky, one of the most underrated D linemen in the NFL. He can play out on the edge, as you see here. He chucks Cole Beasley, basically destroys the route, giving Brian Branch time to catch up. Then Kaminsky proceeds to go at Tyrod Taylor. The timing of this is all messed up, in terms of it being a hide concept. So Tyrod Taylor's at quarterback, another underrated football player who never really seems to get his due. Beasley's going to go across like that. Branch is going to chase, behind the second level of the defense so he doesn't run into anybody. And then Kaminsky with a spectacular play. Huge hit by Brian Branch. This doesn't surprise me at all. If you watch Alabama film from 2020, well, from the last 2 or 3 years, it's littered with plays that Branch made like that. Played in a great system. Extremely intelligent. Great draft pick by the Lions, if you ask me. All right, second play here is going to be an example of Jack Campbell's commitment to what he's asked to do. It is going to be a scramble out of the pocket by Tyrod Taylor. Brian Branch gets credit with the tackle. Look at how Campbell takes on this running back. This is complete commitment. He's trying to occupy the running back so the other inside linebacker, I think Barnes, can go on this little X blitz where one inside linebacker goes this way and then 55 would loop around. Campbell doesn't choose to go inside, though. He just runs. I think it's Matt Breida. He just runs him over. There's a hold call, so the play's brought back. Brian Branch gets credit for the tackle. I'm not really necessarily talking about anything other than Campbell's commitment to what he's being asked to do. All right, the next play where we'll highlight Branch. He's isolated in man in the slot against Cole Beasley again. Good matchup. It's a catch for Beasley. 7-yard gain out to the right-hand side. It's a 2nd and 13, though. So you're okay with a 7-yard gain as long as you don't give up something deeper. Who knows what the Giants are really going to expect with Cole Beasley, but you can see the film. He's still capable of getting open against NFL defenders. It's a man-free, if you ask me, where they got Campbell in the middle of the field. Beasley ends up making the catch for 7 yards out on the edge. All right, get some Campbell film. Same possession. Campbell's going to be involved, I think, in the next 3 or 4 plays. It's a run concept to the right side of the offense, left side of the defense. Something I want to mention about Campbell and the other inside linebacker here, Malcolm Rodriguez, who does a nice job on the next 2 plays that I'll show you. Some people were talking on Twitter about Campbell overflowing this. That could be the case. I'll give you the end zone angle as well in a moment. But sometimes you want the front side inside linebacker when you've got the nickel defender or you've got a +1 defender to your side. I think Branch is up here as the nickel defender, actually. But you've got the plus defender to the side. You can spill it out to him. So what you do with the front side guy is he'll go he'll go to the inside of the first block that he takes on, so you can scrape the backside inside linebacker around. Basically, lets him fast flow it. Frontside guy hits it in underneath, and the backside guy can roll over the top. You can do that when you have the +1 defender there, when you have the safety to your side. I have no idea what calls were made, but you can see they're rolling him up. Outside here, you got a 6 technique DN, head up on the tight end, and watch Campbell fast flow it while this guy hits it underneath on the front side. Maybe that's not the intention of the call here, but it sure seems like it's being nice job by 93 trying to set the edge there as well. Here, I think that's 93. I will have a video coming out on the Okwara brothers, Julian and Romeo. I think they combined for 3 sacks and 5 quarterback hits. So I think it's noteworthy to do something on them. So Campbell's getting involved. A whole host of Lions involved in that play, actually, though. All right, 2nd and 8. James Robinson, a former 1,000-yard rusher for the Jags, his rookie year of 2020. First, check out Rodriguez taking on the block, basically setting it inside. And then Robinson keeps pressing that outside gap. And Campbell flows over the top again, fights off the guard. This is Campbell fighting off the guard here, the backside guard, I believe. Rodriguez taking on the front side block. It's a pin pull. Rodriguez is outside arm free. And then Campbell's going to get off that block finally and get out and finish the tackle. It ends up being a 3-yard gain on a 2nd and 8. Rodriguez with first contact, and then Campbell, I think, is the only guy that gets credit for the tackle. But Rodriguez is underrated. Hope that's Rodriguez, 44. Thought he played pretty well. All right, very next play, 3rd and 5. This is the one that everybody's talking about on Twitter. Campbell's going to be in man coverage here against the running back. Additionally, I'll talk about Brian Branch covering. That's veteran Jamison Crowder trying to run across the field. But check out Campbell. One thing you don't want to happen if you're a linebacker here is you don't want to commit too heavy here and let the running back get over the top of you. You may remember, if you're a Ravens fan, or if you remember the game last year on a 3rd down, the Steelers got a touchdown to Najee Harris when Roquan Smith committed too heavy downfield, allowed Harris to get behind him. It's a 3rd and 5, so Campbell wants to keep everything in front. You can see he's totally focused on the defender, not going to let his eyes avert to the quarterback at all. So much so that when the ball is thrown, it ends up hitting him in the leg or the hip. I want to talk about Branch real quick. May or may not view it as a good thing, depends on your perspective, but he sees Crowder running this across the field, and right around in this area, Branch is going to take his eyes off of Crowder and look at the quarterback. Because he's so aware, he's thinking it's 3rd and 5, the ball's going to be out soon, I want to see what happens. He also, I think, knows that it's man-free. He's got an inside linebacker in the low hole area who should be walling or trying to wall Crowder off. Now, Crowder ran over the top of it, but that's the type of awareness that I think Brian Branch has. He understands the ball may be going somewhere else, and I want to look and see where the ball's going. Maybe you don't like it, maybe you do, but it does illustrate the level of awareness that I think he has for a rookie. That was a 3rd and 5. Later on that same possession, 3rd and 2. This will be the last play I show you. Here is Campbell, and there is Broderick Martin, the huge, I think, 3rd or 4th round pick for the Lions. They double team the front side D tackle. Campbell was able to get involved with the play as second contact. Broderick Martin single blocked here by the left guard, or the center, excuse me. You get the end zone angle, give you a better example, but you can see that it is 98 Broderick Martin there at the bottom of the pile. Jack Campbell seems like a bottom of the pile guy as well. It is the center that takes on 98, who's right here. These two guys, the guard tackle, are going to double team the front side D tackle, and then Campbell is going to come in and finish it off. I thought Branch and Campbell, the guys we're focusing on here, showed what they're capable of. I'm a huge James Houston fan, James Houston the 4th fan. I'm not a real big fan of how he's taking this on here, but I'm glad he's on a 3rd and 2. I'm glad he's on the field on a 3rd and 2, a rundown, force him to execute some edge technique against run blocks. Let me know what you think of Campbell and Branch's play specifically, and if you're excited about Broderick Martin being put in that that D tackle rotation there with McNeil and Buggs. Kaminsky kind of plays all over. I wouldn't classify him as a D tackle. I'd just say he's a badass football player. And I think the two guys that they drafted early, Jack Campbell and Brian Branch, are badass football players as well. I don't have any real negative things to say about them in terms of their play against the Giants. Maybe there's some plays that I'm omitting here. Maybe there's some plays that I left out. So, be that as it may, let me know in the comment section if there's something that reflected negatively on those guys from the game that I neglected to show. I do want to do a video on the Okwara brothers. I mean, how rare and cool is it that two brothers had sacks in the same NFL game? That's such a, I don't know if that's ever happened before. The Watt brothers, TJ and his brother Derek, they play on the same team, the Steelers, but Derek Watt plays fullback, so doesn't play any defense. Maybe there's a game where he's had a tackle before on special teams or something, or an offensive turnover. But those two guys had 3 sacks and I think 5 quarterback hits. I was extremely impressed with the Lions overall, even though I think the Giants jumped out to a 10-0 lead, I believe it was. Let me know what you think of the video in the comment section. Let me know what you think of these two guys' play. And if you think other Lions fans would enjoy this content, please consider grabbing a link to this video and sharing it somewhere out on social media to help this content get more reach.